Bonjour everyone and welcome to match day 4 from the World Rugby Under-20 Championship in the south of France. We are in Narbonne this afternoon and we've had some scintillating games play out across the region over the last couple of weeks. Good crowds in particular in and around Perpignan, Narbonne, Béziers as well. The locals have really embraced this fantastic Under-20s Championship where we are in the transition phase, about to see the next generation of superstars around the world. And there is a look at what's to come across the afternoon. Ireland v Scotland in our first 9th place semi. That'll be followed by Georgia v Japan. Georgia, real surprise packets across the last 2 weeks here in France. Here in Narbonne, it'll be Wales v Argentina that gets us off and moving, followed by Italy v Australia. In fact, it's a triple header this afternoon in Narbonne with England and South Africa set to go at it also. And following that, down in Perpignan, New Zealand v France. So plenty of colour in and around Narbonne. I'm Sean Maloney. Joining me for the call in this one, it is a very good afternoon to former England Sevens captain, Rob Vickerman.
Hello to you, Sean. Looking forward to this one. A little bit more of a meaning behind this, aside from the under-20s, that fact the senior counterparts of these two nations go head-to-head again on Saturday, so could well be seeing names in this team going forward. So many
youngsters have gone on to represent their national teams via this championship. I think the likes of Sam Warburton for Wales, Baptista Dilgai for Argentina, the most recently capped under-20 graduate. What do you like of these two teams, Rob?
Well, I like they both come in wanting to play, really. Argentina absolutely fly into that. And you can see the preparation has long on. Been here a couple of hours now. They're getting used to the conditions and then getting ready to go out there and entertain the world.
Well, it is particularly warm. Does that favour either of these two teams?
I think Argentinians might be a little bit more versed to the weather than the British opponents, for sure. I think it's one of these things, the conditions are calmy, balmy, but it's going to be some stormy rugby. And just looking at the Welsh team in particular, they really are quite exciting. Young team, many of this will be playing again next year in the Under-20 Championship. So keep an eye out for the younger ones in particular. Combeer, the winger, and no less than Evans, who is a significant name in the world of rugby, but a player who's really making a name for himself.
Yeah, that's Kai Evans in the number 10 jersey. We've seen him do his thing in the 15 jersey in their first 3 pool games. He has got a cannon for a leg. He can land them from all over the park, can Kai Evans, and he's up against an Argentinian side that can really mix their game up. Their game plan, so unpredictable.
Exactly that. Sometimes doesn't seem like they have a game plan. They've got a big set of forwards who always tend to mix it up a bit, but their X factor is in their back 3. They are electric now. If De La Vega Mandina, the 10, can get pulling those strings, that is an exciting prospect.
So it is Wales v Argentina. So on to the field they come, Wales and Argentina. This, the 5th place semi-final, will be followed by Australia v Italy. And wins, obviously, always so important in national colours. But Rob Vickerman, it also can shift the seedings for next year as well. So you want to finish big year in, year out.
You do, you need to. The nature of this tournament is brutal. Only 4 teams progress to a semi-final, so seedings are all important. Wales have the same amount of wins as South Africa, who've progressed, but they didn't get the bonus points, hence why they're fighting out for 5th. So really is important.
Yep, Wales ultra impressive in their first up win against Australia in Pool A. They also rolled Japan, but went down against New Zealand. Whilst Argentina, well, just the 1 win, 2 losses. But when they hit their straps, these blokes look terrific. As you'd expect, it is Tuesday afternoon, so a slow build-up. Everyone will wrap up their lunches around this small, sleepy but stunning town in the south of France, and then wander on in. We're at the home of Narbonne Rugby as well. Time now for both the Welsh and Argentinian anthems.
For the national anthems. First of all, tout d'abord, pour le pays de Galles, land of my fathers. Et maintenant, mesdames et messieurs, pour l'Argentine, l'hymne national, the national anthem of Argentina, himno nacional argentino.
It is one of the great anthems, the Argentinians. So much pomp, so much ceremony, Rob Vickerman. And speaking of pomp and ceremony, expect plenty from some of these Welsh outside backs. I know you're a big fan of Combe. Baldwin is the pick for mine out wide. Yeah, looking forward to see how they're going to go. 9 changes in this Welsh team. So you come into this, the 4th game of what's a very tough campaign, and they're going to be sore. They're going to have to get the size of these big Welsh forwards into the game early to try and counter the significant Argentinian threat. It is an enormous Argentinian forward pack, as you'd expect, from the men out of South America. Martinez, Oviedo, Sordoni round out the front row. What is De La Vega, the captain, who adds so much punch from the side of the scrum as well. Look for a number of carries from the Argentinian captain, De La Vega. Okay, Damon Murphy, an Aussie, in charge of this one. Seen plenty of him across the world on the 7th circuit. Super Rugby as well, Damon Murphy. We're in good hands, no doubt about that. Okay, time to decide our first fifth place playoff finalist. Wales v Argentina from Narbonne. This match day 4 of the World Rugby Under-20 Championship. It has been the pathway for so many test stars, and Damon Murphy's found a little knock on there from Wales. We'll pack down the first scrum of the afternoon. It'll be an Argentinian feed.
Yeah, you mentioned about the size of these Argentinians. You don't meet many Argentinians that don't like to scrimmage, already set, getting ready to fly into this one. Really are big men. I mean, it's hard to believe these are 18, 19 and 20, the size of them. Some rocking 125, 130 kilograms, so this is going to be some collision in the scrum and will continue to be so all afternoon.
Bind! Set!
Good early engagement from Wales. They look to drive through here. Nice weight from the Welsh. And they win the penalty.
Oh, that is huge. Just got the noise the forwards are making, banging the chest, and rightly so. Wales coming into this game with just a 78% scrum success. Now, in relative terms, that is very, very low. But any penalty you can get with that man in the ball is going to be brilliant to see. He's got a metronomic boot, as mentioned, but here they're looking to set the stall out early, kick to the corner, and just look at the size of 1 to 5, get those guys on the ball, get the driving maul rolling, and take it to this Argentinians. See here, standing up in the scrum, the call from the referee, a little bit of pressure coming on. You can see the Argentinians turning in slightly. The French interpretation, the scrums always like to be seen from the crowd, that's for sure.
Okay, great field position early on here for the Welsh. Up goes Davis, nice take. Good counter from Argentina initially, and now Wales edge it a little closer. Penalty advantage here as well for the Welsh. We're going to steer it away from the touchline there. They can't do so.
5 entry.
And
5 entry.
goes in.
5 white entry.
Penalty goes against Lucas
5
Paulos.
white entry.
Well, Blacker may well have been keen there, but there'd have been no chance he'd allowed to tap that. Their last game against Japan, really interesting stats. They kept the ball in their opposing 22 for 20% of the game. Significant amount of time, and this is what happened time and time again, the driving maul. But look at the efficiency of this Argentinian defence. Perhaps joining in from the side slightly before the original penalty was given, but it's very difficult to stop a driving maul.
No, they burnt the opportunity there. They were 5 away. They overthrew the line out Wales, and Ruiz came away with it for the Argentinians. They dodged one on that occasion. Execution, a touch off from the Welsh.
Stay.
Noguez, nice hit down the park. Gets a great strike on it, and, well, that is going to please his forwards. The Welsh fullback, Dewey Cross, has taken it nicely, but just caught the touchline. So the errors compounding for Wales.
That is scandalous. You need to check where the line is. You've just given them a 14-metre gain. Now Argentina gets a rock.
Down Evans, his first touch, and he's hit well too. Argentina rushed up, both sides struggling with their lineouts early on. Looking forward to seeing what Blacker can create today. He was huge for his team in their shock win against Australia in Pool A. Evans out the back, we saw him at 15 in that game. Here's a good carry from Thomas Wheeler. Pops it up in contact, connects with Davis. He in turn got it to Harris. Lovely ball out the back from Kerr. There's Cross. Hit well. Decent work in defence for the moment from the Argentinians. Up they come again. Another good stop shot. Just a blue and white wall for the moment. And
Stay, white, stay.
No options in close, so over the top goes Blacker with the box kick. Long run of ball in play here.
Take a release now, release.
Noguez, what's his option? Looks back into the pocket. And opts to kick himself. He can really send that pill down the park. Box kicks nicely, does Noguez. Evans over the top to Davis. Davis. A couple of decent carries from the Welsh Open side. Blacker. Blacker again for Evans. Evans. Shuffle ball from Davis. Huge run of play here. It's going to continue on that way for the moment. Argentina looking to create through their danger man, their back three. Lethal. So too is their number 10, De La Vega Medina. It's exhausting and absorbing from both sides. The ball seemingly in play for the last 3 or 4 minutes.
And the longer the ball's in play, the more that suits these Argentinians.
Advantage 7 round
Penalty advantage here for Argentina. That one knocked down by Blacker, and finally, the 30 men on the pitch get a little breather.
Well, arms are now on head, some are over horns. That was a significant bit of play, approaching 4.5 minutes of running rugby. It's exactly what you get under 20s. It's like why it's such a great product to watch. Teams trying to work each other out, playing their systems and structures that clearly they've been talking about and working on, but then as soon as it starts breaking down, that's when we see the broken field running, where both of these teams will shine. Nice to see Kai Evans, first of all, pulling the strings, play with a bit of width. And that is where the error comes in. You felt here there was a little bit of an overlap if that ball could have been given. At the moment, both defences are on top, but it is just threatening that line break in the middle. And then it will cut loose, I am sure.
Water off, please. Water off. It's not time off. Water off.
I can't remember seeing a run of play for that duration, Rob Vickerman. Crazy stuff from both teams.
Well, lineups weren't going too well, so they just went to a bit of open play, get the rooks running, playing off 10, getting a nice touch early for everybody. It's important to get settled in these big, big games.
Joaquin De La Vega Mendia looking for the first 3 points of the game. Can't find the target, it's away, and we stay all square through 7.5.
Just pushed it right. I'm really excited to see how he's going to go, De La Vega Medina. He only got 53 minutes in his 3 games thus far, but he has got a great ratio. 10 carries, 27 passes, and 2 kicks. So he is an out-and-out running fly half, not known for his lengthy kicks. Expect a lot to be taken from the 9. But like again, if you can get this Argentinian attack ignited, it's some fire.
It's a good slap up the park from the Welsh number 10, Evans. It's a nice strike. And Argentina counter via boot to ball as well, but that one over clubbed out on the fly, and it's a net result for the Welsh.
Well, Carreras, the fullback, will not be happy with that. Was not a good connection. Kicked it too wide, too long.
Mark, boys.
All you're looking to do in those midfield territories, just make it contestable. Try and either whack the Welshman when he catches it or try and throw yourself up for a catch yourself. But grade A ball for Wales now.
Take him out the back. Oh, it comes steaming. Tian Thomas Wheeler. Nicholas goes out the back, pushing it to the fringes now. Wales looking for a way through. Argentina have hit nicely in close. Tip ball there from Max Williams.
Release now,
Just
White.
trying to dodge those defenders who are in close. They're putting some sting into their shots as well, the Argentinians. Swarming up. Blacker dummies and goes. Blacker. His first line break for the afternoon. Dane Blacker gets his side deep into the Argentinian 22. Blacker. Williams had to check his run. It was behind him, and that made him easy pickings for the Argentinian defence. More good work indeed from the men in blue and white. Face ball there for Davis. Davis Back to the 22. Good feet from Cross initially, but once more, the defender caught all the Welsh runner. Blacker sent back now. 12 phases, and Wales have gone backwards for the last 5 or 6 of them.
So the dynamism that Blacker gave, very rare line break in this Welsh attack, but he is the one that's creating the things. Picking and goes against Argentinians is tough work because they're so good at low tackles.
Back. Yeah, anyway.
Nicholas looking to spark something here. Trying to find that chink in the defence. Well, it is shot after shot after shot from the Argentinians. Happy to defend for the moment.
And not committing anyone at the breakdown either, to just getting their wall set, and they're lapping up this attack.
Care. Blacker will be looking up thinking, guys, it wasn't that long back that we were 5 away from the Argentinian line. We're now back on the 40-metre line, and we've just conceded a turnover. What is going on?
Well, that is outstanding defence. We can question the attack of the Welsh, perhaps, and rightly so. The referee's having a conversation with the Argentinian pack, giving a size scale of just how big these Argentinians are, by the way. Damon Memphis not a small man. But this is what Argentina want. One out runners, no momentum, no dynamism coming in. They'll chop that all day, low tackles, ploughing through the ruck. Wales really have struggled this tournament to score tries. Their 3 games so far have only brought around 5 tries. So significant possession, as with Japan, but just not doing anything with the ball. That's a bit of a concern.
Well, after 12 minutes of play, Argentina have made 40 tackles already. Wales just 11.
Crouch!
Extraordinary numbers. Now looking to swing that defence into attack, Argentina. Noguez slides it in, now slips out to the right. He's going to play field position himself. Stabs it low and into touch.
I really got to commend this start by Argentina. They are not known for their structure of games and their game plan. They love to just go gung-ho from minute 1 and start throwing it, but at the moment, they're playing their tactics. They're clearly making their tackles, as we can see with that wonderful graphic.
Let's go, boys. Set the line,
it is tackling practice for them at the moment. There's not much movement, not much secondary line coming in from the Welsh, and by that means we've got a bit of a deeper attack coming in. So Argentina at the moment looking very impressive.
Over the top, more issues at the line out. It's going to work out all right, though, for Wales. Evans went through and tidied it up, but then the pop ball from Thomas Wheeler went back to the Argentinians, so they'll think, well, not any real damage done, and we can have another go. Deep play for the Argentinians now, linking well back on the inside. Nice one-handed offload to the captain, De La Vega.
Leave it! Advantage.
Penalty advantage here for the Argentinians. Oviedo. Lovely ball back inside there from Noguez. It was a nice carry as well on the other side. Here they come, Argentina, with some punch. Gandini.
Penalty.
Penalty, Argentina.
No, you can see this machine starting to really work now.
Hands of the ball, pass the ball over there.
Argentina running onto the ball, looking dynamic, using their power and significant weight. They've only had 13 carries, but each time they're getting it, they're making their yards. They're getting over the game line.
Against red, 7 for offside. Have a chat to him, no more.
And that's where errors can come in discipline, as the referee saying. Not just accepting the tackle, running on, getting a roll, keeping it going.
Got to stand somewhere, but I'll do my best.
Gandini's looking to force with the ball. And when your big men are running forward onto it, it's exactly what you want as a back.
What about the flick ball back inside from Noguez?
Nice little comparable. This is what it comes down to. If you really start winning this arm wrestle, your carries turn into meters. That makes all the difference. Wales dominating the amount they've got the ball, just not doing anything with it. Argentina have already made more meters than them with half as many carries.
A third is the number you're after. A third. 1 over 3. And speaking of threes, there are 3 points up on the board. Argentina hit first through the boot of Joaquin de la Vega Mendia.
That stat is impressive as your segue, and there is the little back out the back door. Love to see those. You got a 9 playing with confidence. That's what you get, wingers into the game, sneaking around corners. I really like the look of Noguez. He's a cheeky little 9, isn't he?
Connecting there with Mateo Carreras. Showing he's got some pace as well if he can break clear. Noguez looks for De La Vega Mendia. Deep in the pocket. Goes himself with the box kick. Controlling things beautifully for the moment. Noguez for Argentina. Evans. He takes it forward for Wales. At the moment, it's almost as if Argentina are happy to be without the pill. Just coming up and creasing blokes left and right. There's another big tackle. Evans runs into a huge frame. Williams tries to get on the outside, and that one has now been knocked on by Wales.
Play on.
Argentina.
Play on.
I sworn David Murphy said that one was knocked on. Pulled out and said, nope. Play on is the call. Cross. Over for Davis. Side to side again from the Welsh.
I think you're right, Argentina don't want it. Let it play on, they're just coming and making these tackles. Look at the line speed, big men coming quick and hunting down these attackers.
After all that, Evans says, I'll just whip it in behind, but it's read nicely by Carreras. That's Santiago Carreras. And he stripes that one up the park. Finds Evans again. Kai Evans can play 15 or 10. And can tackle nicely. Noguez tries to keep it alive. Good little passage there from Kai Evans, and he's won his side the line out throw.
Well, as he takes a knee, that was great play from Evans, showing his skills as a fullback. Lets the catch come. Noguez catches it, and once again goes out the back door, but this time not expecting it. Castro just knocking it on as it kind of thrown back in without him realising. But Evans, for me there, that work rate, really difficult to cover the backfield. You're a 10, you're kicking, you're in the front line. He's had significant plays already. He's been the heartbeat of this team when they've had it, and they've had it a lot. 6 carries is clocked up as well as his distribution. So he is putting in some serious work, Kai Evans.
Hang on. All good. Hold. Time on. Back.
Wales through Baldwin. He fired it to Nicholas, who was jarred in the tackle. Evans trying to mix the game up a little here, puts it low, and Argentina very nearly sparked something from deep inside their own half. Gee, if that had to come off, I think they were through and gone on the other side.
Oh, I said before how exciting this back three are. Carreras, both of them working in tandem.
Go, boys, set the line, please.
Santiago and Matteo. What an audacious piece of skill that was. What a shame he couldn't quite stay in field, but that is why this team are excited.
This much better from the Welsh. A line break that's going to bring the first try. Ryan Conbeer cut them to pieces.
What a score. The Welsh squad rightly so applauding that one, and the fans. You will not tire of watching this try. We talked before about Conbeer. There's a name to look out for, the Scarlet. You're not going to play for the Scarlets without being excited. This is first phase. This is absolutely no right. Left foot step, bounces round, beats the inside, and then just for good measure, rinses the fullback as well. That is one exceptional carry from Ryan Comby.
Well, it's his first carry of the game. Wondering why he hasn't seen more of the spud. If he can showcase that kind of footwork, that kind of pace, he's set for a big afternoon.
Well, the Welsh coaching staff must be delighted with that. Dan Flanagan, ex-fly half, and schoolboy rugby as well. Speaking of fly halves.
Evans from bang in front. Pushes it through the sticks, and it is Wales who grab the lead for the first time.
Well, just saying about how significant this is, that Welsh team who do not attack well in the opposing 22, but Comby, he has just grabbed it, and he has pulled that through the line himself. What a finish. Had everything, didn't it? The balance, the pace wingers want a bit of open space, but that footwork in a tight space is some of the best you'll see.
A set of quads on him, doesn't he? Ryan Comby. Huge pins. And can motor.
Your confidence will be sky high as a winger. 20 minutes in, your first carry.
Marks on me, boys.
To carve up like that, all you'll be thinking now is just give me the ball again. Give me it, and give me it quick.
More! 6 out.
That
Six red
Argentina's
out.
first successful
Six
line-out
red
throw.
No, out.
Wales called
No,
out of the rolling maul.
Advantage, entry.
And now playing with the penalty advantage here, Argentina. Just sneaking to the 22 there of Wales. On they go through Sordoni. The huge tight head prop gets his side on the front foot. Now they go flat. Numbers to the left, over club. The kick ahead, is it? Just a touch. Mateo Carreras. Gilbert tried to check for him and then just hopped hard.
Oh, it could have been his second outstanding effort. We saw the one in the 22 first half. This time, he was so close. If that ball just bounces backwards, the rugby ball, what a cruel device that is. If that got a solid bounce, if Jonty Rhodes were in the slips, perhaps he could have had a go, but what vision. Lovely touch, this Argentinian team, born footballers.
Jonty Rhodes. You're throwing a South African cricketer into the mix there.
Time. Need a ball.
Why not just go A.B. de Villiers, someone a little more recent.
Sorry.
That the 20s would actually know, not Johnny Rhodes.
There's no one really as good as him, though.
A.B. de Villiers.
He's okay, isn't he? But, you know, we're talking one of the old-time greats here. If you don't know who Jonty Rhodes is, get on YouTube, have a little look. You'll be impressed, I promise. He's not very big either.
We're covering the World Rugby Under-20 Championship. Let's keep it fresh and young, Rob Vickerman. Here comes Argentina. Around the corner they go, but they get them all kinds of mixed up.
Yeah, and the few were asking for the advantage before. You often try and do the crossfield kick if you know you've got that pending advantage. Normally referee's discretion is to bring it back to that original offence. And speaking of offences, not the best line-up we're seeing so far in this game. Went for the peel, but you've got to get it right. Hands on heads, that's training ground stuff.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
And a good battle at scrum time as well between these two sides. They have really locked it down and gone hard at one another, and there is another penalty for the Welsh at scrum time. They are really starting to gain some ascendancy at the set piece.
Yeah, just to put that in context, that is an incredible effort. Argentinian scrum is one of the most feared and revered things in the world, perhaps
10 red.
almost as impressive as the south of France down here itself. They love to see a scrum. Argentina are one of the few teams that can make the Welsh front five look average size. That's how big, and we're talking Maurice Carr, he's rocking 130 kilograms, the Welsh loose head. But the Argentinians aren't able to stack up against them. Any sideways movements, very difficult, like a Ouija board almost. The forces are going all over the shop.
Wales to the front, pulled in by Davis.
That's one, Fred.
Argentina counter, so Blacker box kicks, looks for the chase from the try scorer. He's beaten initially. Super feet from his opposite number, Mateo Carreras. Lovely width on the passing now from Argentina. Good feet as well. Rapid feet. Carreras back in field. Try coming for Noguez. That's what they do so well, the Argentinians. That try, 5 stars.
Well, that is a sensational effort. So many individual pieces of skill. This might well be the first game we're seeing today, but I doubt you'll see a better try than that one. That had absolutely everything. This is outstanding back play. And the Welsh gathering, trying to understand what has just happened. First of all, the playing behind, secondary line goes out, and as soon as the mispass happens, Carreras just starts flying. Ridiculous left foot step, puts it on the foot, 3 men queued up on the inside. And look at this little touch. Oh, what a score. Noguez does the easy bit, but that was incredible skill.
He's De La Vega Mendia looking for the additional 2, misses the mark, and it stays 8-7. But, as you say, Rob Vickman, this, one of the tries of the tourney.
Had the step, had the kick, had the pickup, one-handed, didn't even need to try and use his second. You get picked up, rightly so. What a score. Argentina continue to impress the world with this skill set that they're almost born with.
I've got about 15.
Follow that.
A tricky one to match, that's for sure. 2 cracking tries in this first 5th place semi-final between Wales and Argentina. Wales landed a beauty of their own through Ryan Colombier, and that try moments ago from Noguez after the lead-up work from Carreras. Simply outstanding. Here he is, the try scorer. Noguez has directed things beautifully. Blacker for Care. He goes out the back for Evans. That one sent deep into the Argentinian 22. They're going to have a run, are they? Looking for some space and linking particularly well. They keep it alive initially, but the left foot there of Ignacio Molina caught the touchline, and it'll be a Welsh line-out throw.
Huh?
Well, we're going again, are we? They got the bug. No matter where they're going now, they're playing with this confidence we love to see the Argentinians have, and actually tactically playing a really good game, using box kicks wisely, and then when they feel they've got a bit of broken play in front, they go. And that's exactly what we like to see.
All good.
A little bit too close to the touchline, but you let them off for that. You can see a bit of a problem for the Welsh. This line-out needs to get sorted.
Oh, it's a line-out.
50% of them. You love your stats, Shawnee.
Yeah, line-out.
I do, and I know that both coaching staffs of the respective teams would be hating those numbers on screen, especially given the conditions. I mean, it is just the most perfect day here in Narbonne in the south of France, where we've been playing out the under-20s championship across the last couple of weeks.
Time off.
The main semi-finalists, well, that's England v South Africa later tonight here in Narbonne, and the other one down the road in Perpignan, New Zealand v France. France have been exceptional at home this last fortnight.
Yeah, they're a different beast playing at home. Really have taken this tournament by storm, and some even now fancying, dare I say it, making them favourites for a game, which is unheard of against the young All Blacks. But personnel changes have meant this line-up's not functioning well. Not an excuse, but the Welsh have got to sort it.
Falls their way, now Evans to the air. Argentina's back 3, mixing their running lines up there, goes Carreras again. Now that one's just travelled forward in contact. Tricky ball for Molina to get away, and as he was being driven back, it's just gone forward.
Great shot by the big men. That's what you want. Hard and forwards, Coleman and Davis putting the shoulders in. They came and got them. As soon as that pass was moved on, you are a sitting target. Chris Coleman, his namesake, probably missing out on the World Cup this year. You have some pressure if you call Chris Coleman in Wales, that's for sure. Just to explain, he used to be the Welsh football coach for your Shortings.
Crouch!
Thanks, champ. Thanks, champ.
Bind!
I'll take it and I'll run with it.
Bring it up. Both teams, pre-engage. Let's keep that clear gap. Yeah, we spoke about that.
Go with Bale, maybe.
Both teams, clear
He
gap.
goes all right.
Understand? Beautiful.
That's about it. I'm not going anymore.
Okay, at that time, close the gap. Explain to them.
David Murphy, our referee, just
Keep that.
laying the law down to both packs. David Murphy does a little work in the biltong trade back in Brisbane, Australia, on the side. He's a biltong merchant.
Crouch!
I'm going to crack a gag about being a bit tough, but I'll stay away from it.
Former player himself, he knows
Set!
what's cracking, that's for sure. David Murphy and Wales look to continue with their strong work at scrum time. That's a nice skip ball for Nicholas. Now with Baldwin, a great finish of Baldwin. Ups and goes again, needs help.
Advantage.
Penalty advantage here for the Welsh.
Time off, please. Come here. Captain. Clearly, 12, come here, please. So clearly under pressure, I called him off the ball. It's a cynical act, it's a yellow card.
There we go, explained perfectly. Cynical act, call him off the ball. You take 10 minutes
Mark here.
on the sideline for that.
Off
Segura
hands, playing the ball.
panicked with, again, another wonderful first phase play from the Welsh. Kai Evans is staying in a bit of pocket.
Scrum.
He's throwing some absolute pearls across to his
Red ball.
outside backs and nearly saw Baldwin going to the corner. Lovely play, you can see from the scrum, Blacker goes against it. That missed pass and that little hold-up ball there from Nicholas just creates the space. Good cover tackle in the end. Do feel as though if the Fen came out from Baldwin, he had more of a chance. Ball in the wrong hand, you can see there technically, but the Argentinians hanging around ankles. And that's deemed cynical. Hands down first, killed the play, take your 10.
Hold the weight now.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Good counterweight from Argentina, but they go through.
Back it up. Same way, boys.
90 will go again.
A lot of pressure coming to Argentina now. You can't have two subsequent penalties to the Welsh and suddenly think it can turn the tail there. But for me, the Argentinian pack, they got the hit, they got the push. The Welsh there most definitely stood up. Great shot of Cairo there. He stood up.
Nice and straight for me, yeah? That
The
one's
Welsh
through
loose
the
head.
90. Nice and straight.
Referee asking
Both
very
teams.
clearly for it to stay straight. The reason being much easier to understand where the pressures are coming from. The Welsh stand up and they're moving laterally. It's got to be penalised against them. This is a huge scrum for the Welsh now. They know they've got that hit. They've got the force coming through. They've got the men, they've got the size and the power. It's how you turn that into points. We've seen a couple of penalty tries already this tournament.
Time's off, time's off. Time's off.
And to add to it, if the Welsh do get the clean ball, they've got the man
Time
advantage.
back on.
Segura's still in the bin, which opens up all sorts of options. They've got a man wide out on the left of the touchline. Standing waiting Combi. Very difficult to defend this for Argentina if it is clean ball.
Hold the weight.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Wales keep it tight
Advantage.
and look to keep it straight. Another penalty advantage here for the Welsh.
White, not pushing straight. Not pushing straight.
Well, you got to
My
feel a
side.
bit for the
Must
Argentinians
push to the
here.
mark.
I understand the referee saying it's not driving straight, which isn't acceptable, but they are still winning that collision with a huge shove.
Another scrum.
And then when you are moving forward, you try and control over 900 kilograms of human moving in one direction there. It's a tough call on them. Argentina, they're just going to have to concede the hit,
It's good. It's this side here.
stay solid, stay square, and then just hope that their defence can get across to shut it down. They've now brought in Carreras, Matteo, outside of De La Vega Medina, who's not the biggest. So this could be route one for the Welsh and Thomas Wheeler.
I'll referee the game. Okay, I don't need you pulling out the scrum. Okay, I'll referee where the mark is.
David Murphy just letting the Welsh front row know who's boss in this.
He doesn't want to argue too much with him because there could be some significant biltong sales in that room there.
Couple of VIPs, you reckon?
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Okay, now it's all good. Argentina look to get an early shove on there, and Wales lock it down.
Use it, please.
No desire initially to shift it. Now Blacker, they're crowded to his left. Skip ball finds Thomas Wheeler. Blacker in turn to Fry. Argentina looking to slide in D here. Prevent Wales from taking the lead again. Blacker. Blacker. Good running line from Williams. They're going to suck in the defenders in tight before they cannon it wide to Conbeer. Good charge from Cross. So close. Blacker. Kerr. All 130 kilos of him. Very nearly finds the try line. At the back it comes, a crossfield kick for Baldwin. Will it get there? It is pinpoint. It is perfect. And Wales reclaim the lead.
Well, that was a matter of when, not if, hammering this Argentinian line all the way back from the scrum in the bottom right, phase after phase, wave after wave, keeping the ball, not making errors, which we've seen previously, which opened up for this wonderful crossfield kick. Evans just sat nicely behind, puts it on the right foot, perfect height, lots of space to play with. Baldwin just stood there waiting for it at the quick put down. And Geordie Barrett might have wanted it a little bit flatter, but that was just good enough from Kai Evans. What a good start it's been. He's shown a nice array of his game.
Just on the 5, mate.
His effort levels. Fly half for the first time in this tournament, and the third different half-back pairing in a row for this Welsh team. So not easy transition, but they're looking like they're firing.
Evans, 5 in from touch. They're going to bounce it out to a 6-point margin in his side's favour. 3 superb tries have been posted in this first half. Evans looking to draw that one back. It hangs out to the right. Yep, so the try scorers, Baldwin, Conbeer for Wales, and Noguez for Argentina. Another look at the grab and put down from Corey Baldwin.
He always looks quite strange, doesn't it, when people catch the ball in goal and just try and drop to the floor as quick as possible. That panic that you might well get the ball slapped out.
Evans plugs it up the park, and that is a good touch finder. Noguez entertains the thought of going quickly, and eventually will toss it to his hooker and say, have at it, big man. You do your best, Lionel.
So 3 really good tries we've seen, but 3 very different tries. Making set piece off the line out. We've got a nice little crossfield kick, and then that Argentinian ridiculous effort from their own half. But a real array. The 20s always does entertain. High, fast, running rugby. Who doesn't want to watch that?
There's your mark.
Still 3.5 minutes on the clock of the sin bin. Just painting a bit more of a picture now, but it's Welsh carries turning more into gain line success. That's what you need. That bottom one's the measure. The more times you get over the gain line, the harder it is to defend. Really simply.
Crouch! Bind!
The imaginative line, the back foot, wherever it is, that's what you've got to get over.
It's a height issue. Height issue. Shoulders above hips for me. Shoulders above your hips. Height. Height.
Again, great audio, just talking technically what the referee's wanted to see. Get your hips a bit lower. Keep your shoulders above them, you're not going to fall over. It's almost like a physics lesson for the forwards.
It is Augustin Segura, who is off the park after infringing in the lead up to that second Welsh try. Another 2.5 in the bin for
no one was at fault there. I spoke
Augustin
about it.
Segura.
Last warning for both teams. I need that clear gap, yeah? Clear gap, you understand?
All right, let's see if they can get it right this time around. They're on their last warning. Both forward packs.
Crouch!
Wales and Argentina.
Bind!
4 points separates them as they
Set!
look for the W here and try and give themselves a shot at coming in 5th place in the World Rugby Under-20 Championship. Finally, Argentina get the march at scrum time and they win the penalty.
Well, as you'd expect, the Argentinians pumped up. They pretty much live and breathe being pumped up, but that didn't really look that different to the previous 3 we've seen. That pressure coming on, slight turn in from the loose head. The dominance of the Welsh front rower previously has been a penalty in the favour of Wales, but there, Argentina get the nod.
That is a huge touch finder as well. That is a booming kick.
You see as the two unite, loose head does turn in slightly. You just see behind Kai Evans, but as soon as they started moving forward, the Welsh have to stand up. It ended up crabbing to the right, got away with it, and now look where they are. This is significant.
Maul! 6 out!
Maul's a call. Wales driving towards the line. Argentina spinning their way towards the chalk.
Held up.
Held up's the call.
Time out, please. Just time out.
I'm just listening to what the referee's saying. That was all about body
Graham,
management.
Get me there, please.
Murph.
Mate, try yes or no.
Okay.
De La Vega just span the other way. He'd have scored it easily, but because he rolled underneath himself, it's going to be very, very difficult to see.
David Murphy calls for the replay. Wants a little help from his TMO. Graham Hughes, the man feeding the info back to Damon. And here is a look at it. It'll be tough on that angle. He might get something here.
You can see the ball on the far side. He's got it. If that extra roll, it's going to be so hard to see. As soon as body's flying the way, that is just unsightable. I think Davis maybe just did enough to get himself in the way of De La Vega. It's difficult for the referee to see. It's like he's watching a sat-nav on the far side. It's a long way from the screen.
Murph,
yes.
Yeah, he's short there, mate, so it's a scrum 5, white ball.
Too easy. No try, held up, scrum, white ball.
There's a call. Argentina won't mind. They've still got the ball in hand at the right part of the field, looking to push themselves ahead of Wales here.
This is a huge scrum now. Argentinians winning that collision, moving it forward. They don't want to try and push too far, as daft as it sounds, but don't give the referee the decision to make about it going sideways.
Argentina inching their way towards the line. Noguez at the back.
Advantage.
Doesn't want it. Penalty, Argentina again. How many more can Wales concede?
Well, it can't be many more. I'd say this one. That was impressive display of scrummaging from the Argentinians. I think that was quite generous from Damon Rothfade, leaving as long as he did, because the Welsh were clearly stood up in the middle of that melee. What a drive. And the best thing about it, the rhythmical pushing forward, doing it as a unit. You could see the old heaving second, third, fourth, fifth push from the Argentinians, each time just squeezing the Welsh, making them pop up. What a difficult place to be. Not only physically very uncomfortable, but mentally now, they don't look very confident.
Crouch! Bind!
There's a setup in close for Argentina. And there's the weight. It's impressive.
Advantage.
It's dominant. And it's going to bring a try surely here for Argentina. At the back it comes, penalty try. Damon Murphy's had enough. He comes to the sticks and says, Argentina, you take 7 points.
Absolutely correct decision.
Can't kick. Can't take a quick kick or penalty try.
Damon Murphy just educated on the laws of rugby. There are no conversions for penalty tries.
And you can't take the quick kick either off the back of a penalty try. That's what Kai Evans was working at. This was always going to come.
Yeah, kick off.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well done, Argentinians. And what I like most about it, they reassessed their tactics at the scrum. First 3 hits they did, gave away the penalty by not being straight there. They slowed it down. They didn't move as quickly, which is really important because then you can control it much more. They did that, and they squeezed it. There's one for the purists.
In a touch and half-time between Argentina and Wales. And it's the boys in blue and white who are up by 3.
Wales 12, Argentina 18.
Orange vous prête un mobile en 24 heures en cas de casse, de perte ou de vol. Orange.
Advantage. 7 what? Penalty. One more, please. Are we all good? Yeah.
I'd find you in the way of it.
Leave it, White, leave it! Advantage. Off feet, advantage. Time off, please. It's a cynical act, it's a yellow card. You can't go quick. That's it. There's your mark. Step back, please.
Okay. Primeros. Distancia abajo. Let's go. Afuera. Segunda.
Advantage.
L'équipe de France nous a régalé au cours de la troisième journée en s'imposant avec la manière face à l'Afrique du Sud. Quelques extraits de ce match que vous étiez 9011 à voir jeudi dernier. Et voici maintenant un retour sur les autres matchs de cette troisième journée.
Welcome back to our coverage of the World Rugby Under-20 Championship from Narbonne. We are in the south of France. This is our first fifth place semi-final between Argentina and Wales at the break. It's Argentina up by 3. This is our next generation of Test superstars doing their thing. So many have gone on to represent at the top level over the years off the back of this tournament. From the Argentinian side of things, look no further than Martin Landajo. He's the most capped Los Pumas who's come from this tournament, and I bet he'd be watching on thinking, wow, oh, wow. The little number 9 doing his thing in the blue and white at the moment goes all right too. Manuel Noguez with 1 try in the first half for Argentina. Wales have jagged a couple of beauties of their own through Conbeer and Baldwin. 15-12 at the break. I'm Sean Maloney alongside me for the call in this one is former England Sevens captain Rob Vickerman. Down she goes, and Evans laces that one back down the field. It's brought in by his opposite number, De La Vega. Mendia very nearly getting his way through. Noguez. Argentina certainly winning the battle in contact. Sordoni, more run meters for the Argentinians in that first half. Cheeky little ball in behind. Grub ahead beautifully and then kicked on again out wide. Argentina got something special brewing here. It's still live for Argentina. Unbelievable footwork. Hard line from Argentina. Carreras, Santi Carreras goes in. He benefits with a try, but the lead-up work, the soccer skills, incredible.
So I'm guessing they said at half-time, we've scored one of the most ridiculous tries you'll see in that first half. Let's see if we can match it in the second. They've come out and they've gone for it. First of all, De La Vega Medina gets it on the floor. What a lovely little touch, goes lateral, puts it on the left foot. Then take a look at this bit. Why pass it when you can kick it? Carreras, with such a subtle touch, goes across. And this is where the Argentinians then come alive. You can see the line being picked a mile away from Carreras. He takes the short line. He slices the Welsh defence as they're still trying to work out what the hell they just saw in the preceding phase. Argentina, I'm running out of words for them. They're looking so incredibly gifted.
That was outrageous off the deck. The kick pass brought in, kept alive in Argentina. Now lead by 10.
Well, they must be running back with massive amount of confidence. This stuff, it was like a glitch on a computer game. Went for the pass button and somehow ended up going on their foot. And that's a great finish again. Targeting the ruck as soon as there's fragmented defence, very difficult to get your structures in place. And the fullback slices. Just as well he got the moral score from that piece of skill.
Argentina with first points in this second term. Up over the 22 they go.
Outside, it's outside, boys. Let's go 9, please.
Noguez hits it shallow. And Wales reel it in. Blacker for Coleman. Blacker back to the short side. Fresh legs in the form of Dewey Lake. Handy first carry as well from Lake. Davis, Reese Davis. Evans to Kerr. Lateral again from Wales, probing for a way through. Now with Nicholas. He's pushed back. Coleman, crunched. Evans out the back play, and now the kick on the other side. It's rounded up easily there by Avellaneda. Just mopping things up for his team, and now Noguez sends the kicker into the pocket. That one will just find touch.
And we're back to see what we saw in the first half from the Welsh. They get the territory, they get the possession, but they cannot capitalise on it. It's very static running, that's the problem. As soon as you get momentum in the game, players have to get around the corner. It's all the more difficult to try and shut down the spaces, but Argentina are just mopping up the attack. The Welsh ended that first half with 18% of time in the opponent's 22, conversion just 8% for Argentina, but look at the scoreboard.
Slapped back by the Welsh there. Gee, this guy's handy, he's real handy. Conbeer's beaten 3 already. Conbeer was trying to connect there with his captain, Rafael, and it was intercepted now. Noguez just hacks it off the deck. It's going to fall for the Welsh. No, it's not. It's going back for Argentina. Somehow it slides under that pile of bodies.
Knock on by Red.
Goes back to Argentina, and Damon Murphy says that was actually a knock-on from Wales. Didn't catch that one initially.
Well, there's a little bit of pressure if you wear a Welsh shirt with number 11 on the back, but at the moment, Conbeer's looking outstanding. George North-esque as he starts bouncing around defenders. Left foot, right foot again, showing his versatility in there. 7 on 7. That is poaching of the highest order. Pickpocket stuff from Molina, and it needed to be, because he'd have been walking in outside him, Davis.
Well, conditions are absolutely A1 here in the south of France, but as we saw, match day 1, as the afternoon progresses, it's particularly moist underfoot out in the middle, and that dew settles on top as well, can make handling a little tricky.
And we had a splash of rain here as well, so really is a factor. We're saying about this running rugby, attacking style. All the meanwhile, difficult to do with a wet ball, greasy ball, and as you mentioned, Shawnee, the sweat-inducing type of running they're doing really does make it difficult. Just got to compliment their skill set. We've not seen a huge amount of errors, but a lot of belief, a lot of effort and endeavour.
Crouch! Down! Bind! Sit!
Noguez at a live wire scrum half, looking to create the angle here for the exit. De La Vega, Mendia, Marshall, some support in tight, looking to buy him some seconds to get the kick away here. He won't need to, though, as his house partner says, I'll look after that one for you, fella. No problems, in a touch it goes.
Not been as dynamic as we've seen previously. A bit more kicking than we used to see. 9 kicks per game on average, and there's tends to be more of a passing nine, as most Argentinian nines do need to be, because they have to try and keep up with the play, that fast style. The Welsh cannot generate quick balls, so they have to keep looking to their forwards, trying to get that momentum going forward.
Here is some of that go forward you mentioned. Bob Vickerman edging it ahead here, Wales.
Out.
Just meandering their way down the field. Penalty advantage here for the Welsh. Kerr, Blacker, Evans. Over now to Thomas Wheeler. Thomas Wheeler dinking it in behind, and will come back for the penalty.
Back here.
I think there's a little bit of hope value there if they did try the kick pass. We've seen how successful it's been, not just in this tournament, but World Rugby at the moment, it seems. A lot of people looking for that kick. As soon as the shift went across
the side, must come through the gate.
Ian Nicholas, that was the time to do it. Put it on the right foot, find the space at the top. Going to see a great angle here. All forwards surrounded in that 5x5 area. As soon as it comes out now, this is your chance. You can explode, fly onto it. One shape kick there, you bring the winger up and put it out wide. The Argentinians tend to be very tight in their defence. Just 5 metres away from the outside post. So there's plenty of space there, but it's just trying to find it.
Time back on.
Lionel Oviedo's day is done. Augustin Emile from the Santiago Lawn Tennis Club in Argentina comes into the fray, and more line-out issues for the Welsh.
Scrum, line out. Scrum.
Grade A ball, all you want to set it up. is your line out to be straight. No one competing against the Welsh there. Not one lifter jumping for Argentina. That's just inexcusable from Lake. It's difficult. Young man perhaps feeling a bit of pressure. But just 2 off this Welsh 8 remain from their last game. You can't help but feel their set piece really is letting them down here.
It's normally bread and butter for these guys. They're highly skilled. It's not like you're trying to tackle camel racing or anything tricky like that. It is a straight throw to the back.
Crouch!
And it should be money day in, day out.
Doesn't even need to be lifted. It could be as simple as thrown to the front, get it set. All they want to do is rumble it forward anyway. And now it goes to a scrum that they've also been struggling with.
Height, shoulders above hips. Height as well, shoulders above the hips as well.
Shoulders above hips, that's the terminology referees are saying, because as soon as the hips go below the hips, the shoulders below the hips, as you can see there, the direction is down. And it's so important that this is a safe part of the game. You can imagine the force. With 1 lost each. The penalties that have come from it, obviously not counted in those stats, because Wales have had 2, Argentina have had 3.
Set! 2, 3, 4. Red club team.
And it just goes from bad to worse for the Welsh. They missed the line out throw.
Boys, easy, take it up, bring it up, bring it up. It's all good, all good.
Scrum comes under pressure, and now Argentina can relieve that pressure. Send it to touch via the penalty kick.
I do always think it must be a horrible place to be as a hooker there with your arms behind your fellow props, having absolutely no ability to stop your face hitting the floor. The commitment these guys show, but you can see the reason why it went down. As soon as their legs get long, that's the terminology, so as soon as there's too much distance, you can't keep your balance, you go down.
Now Argentina mess it up.
Yeah. Scrum, 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 red ball.
And slowed up a bit now. Another chance for the Welsh to go. When they've had the ball, when they've got the ball into their backline, they've looked strong, they've looked powerful.
There's your mark, boys.
Definite tactic of using Thomas Wheeler, the big 12, just his first cap last week, to try and smash it up. But if there's one man who will not be happy, it's this man. And he's a strong man as well. Chris Horsman just hiding behind him. Amazingly, you don't often get to see Chris Horsman hide. He's a huge man. He'll not be happy with these scrums.
That gets all types of messy. It's going to work out okay for Wales with Fry peeling away. Davis King. He adds a couple of metres to the run column. Good delay ball there for Thomas Wheeler. From Evans. Here he is again, Evans looks up, chopped low. Davis King needs some support as Argentina go looking for the turnover, but they're pinged for not releasing there. So Evans playing with the house's money here. It's a hit and hope, and it's brought in by Argentina. Will come back for the penalty.
White, clear
Again,
release,
you just
please.
want to see something be tried there. Chris Horsman, as you mentioned before, won't be happy with the scrums.
Points.
Parading, marauding the touchline.
So the winner of this one, Rob Vickerman, will face either Australia or Italy. They're coming up in the second, 5th place semi-final. Right off the back of this, in fact, it's a triple header here in Narbonne. Number of Queenslanders in the Australian outfit this afternoon. Cane Toads, as they're known back in Oz. Hamish Stewart, Jordan Patea and Harry Hawkins from the Queensland Reds joined the squad last week for their clash against New Zealand. They very nearly popped the Kiwis as well.
Did they have to wait until after Origin to come over?
Out, though. Ball was out.
That's how the timing worked out.
Exciting players, I'm sure. I mean, these guys are looking at now futures of world rugby. How good is that to say? Hagawares will be fellow Super Rugby players, and very exciting times in Wales for the Under-23 League. That's been discussed, consulted, and is now happening, which many of these will be featured in.
Too easy for Evans from in front, and they claw 3 back from the deficit.
8 red, 1 blue.
And the boot of Evans will have to give them hope for the remaining of this game, because they're not looking as threatening in phase play. We've seen their first phase look pretty strong, and the crossfield kick that led to the try. But other than that, the Welsh not getting those line breaks, not getting those offloads. I mentioned the 3 games previously, just 15 offloads in total. They need to improve their running rugby.
This guy knows how to card it, that's for sure. Ryan Conbeer, out past his 22.
Just 3 carries, that's the problem. Every time he's got it, he's done something, but just not getting the ball enough.
Lateral again from Wales. Blacker breaking it back. That one caught an Argentinian hand, everyone on side, chasing out wide. Brought in though by Argentina, keep it alive, off the deck. Beautiful string of passes here from Argentina. Noguez rushed in at the base of the ruck there, penalty advantage here for Argentina. So threatening, the no-look ball is handy, so's the tip on. Argentina putting together a stunning highlights reel in Narbonne.
Juan Molina scores that try, but once again we're talking with lovely superlatives of just how brilliant this attack can be. A flowing move, little shoulder ball, offloaded rugby. This is what we just have not seen from Wales, and it's the marked difference. Up tempo, and it seems to be they can click their fingers and things happen. Different levels of dynamism from this Argentinian team, and it's a pleasure to behold. Usually started from Carrera as a fullback or the wing with his namesake, but this time Noguez was the man in the middle doing bits and pieces. These guys across the board just love to play rugby, love hands-on rugby.
Well, this championship is all about providing World Rugby with the next run of Test superstars, and I think we're seeing a couple here in the blue and white of Argentina, no doubt about it. It's a potential Los Pumas going about their work. Conversion is good as well, and the score is 29-15, 25 to play.
I think it's just a bit of a mindset shift. You play shoulder balls, you can either get walloped or you get the offload free, and that belief they've got of taking the ball hard into contact, getting those arms free, hitting the support lines. Every time there is an offload chance, it's like the Argentinians expect it. They just fly onto it, and when you get in behind these defences, running rugby, open rugby, is what people love to see.
On the Argentinian side.
Wales, after the good work from Conbeer, win the penalty at the breakdown. He was the one who came through and made the initial tackle, and then his forward pack jumped all over it.
It's turned to a bit of the beauty and the beast, isn't it, at the moment? We're seeing these wonderfully crafted, exuberant tries from Argentina, and then the grind and graft from the Welsh, and it needs to be, because it's the only way they're going to stay in the game and take their points on offer they've seen. But again, going to a line-out that's been faltering, a scrum that's really been under pressure. But this is good play. Conbeer again showing not just attack, he can do it in defence. Straight over it late, getting that turnover, crucially. He's facing 3 men against him. That is committed work.
Argentina looking to snuff out another Welsh line-out throw close to their line. Not straight. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
Not straight.
The psychology now of Lake knowing he has to nail this line out. The pressure is clearly put on himself. That is a line out that he could throw 100 times and hit it 99 out of 100. For 2 consecutive not straight line outs right there, it's tough to watch. It increases frustration.
Time back on.
And it demoralises the forward pack, who absolutely live and die by these set pieces. 45% territory in the second half Wales have had in the Argentina 22. 45%.
Read up.
I'm not holding the weight, sir. I'm not taking the hit.
You three, height for me, please. Make sure you keep it height. Guys, let's hold the weight as well, please. Both sides at fault.
Good hit. Let's chase. Let's chase then. Let's chase. Props. Break. Locks.
Given the class of some of these tries that both these sides have scored, we'd love to see the ball in play a little more. Rob Vickerman, let's get away from the scrum resets. Let him rip.
Set!
Noguez feeds it. Wales put their shoulders to the wheel. It's cleared though by Noguez, and he skews that one in a touch.
We'll soon get to the point where Argentina may well be calling moves off Wales's line out, such as the style of throws at the moment, but that's not a great clearance. Talk about exit set often in rugby. Teams practice time and time again, getting the forwards in the right place, getting the nine to be positioned correctly. You can see now these human caterpillars, wonderful term of phrase they're now deeming to be.
All good.
Which means that Argentina spend a lot of time in their own 22, as you can see, 46% presently, not helped by their inability to clear the ball. You want to be aiming for 10-metre line, halfway line at a push. Conversely, they should just keep the ball in, keep running it.
Finally, it connects at line-out time. Combi injects, comes in off his wing. Evans has to dive on the loose pass. Basham on for Blacker. Replacement Welsh scrum half. Davis, Reece Davis. Some cheeky meters there. Evans. He found Thomas Wheeler.
Advantage, not rolling. White.
Morgan, Harry Morgan. Chip over the top from Evans. Regathers as well. And playing with the penalty advantage here too. Basham. Basham. Morgan. Just a touch slower in attack than the Argentinians are the Welsh.
And static. That's the problem. They're not running onto the ball. They're getting it stood still. They're getting whacked.
Ooh, that's a low stinger from Argentina.
White, roll away,
Replacement.
please.
Hooker,
White, roll
Augustin Miller. Woof.
Good job his squat doesn't need a neck, because that would have hurt if he had one. So low when they fly in. It's so hard to get momentum. Mentioned about being stood still and get hit by a man who's a cube.
It's a cube of granite is what he is.
Let's not start becoming negative, okay?
So there's got a hope value here. Wales going for a line-out. You can see the full stop that punctuates this sentence coming up. These tackles, ball back on the inside. That's what they need to do. Try and move the Argentine defence around. At the moment, very static and not much dynamism.
Front ball is good for Wales.
Out.
Argentina called out of the rolling maul. Davis King.
That's once.
He's the man at the back, shouldering the pill.
Out. 4 White out.
7 away, told to use it. Shifted wide. Intercepted. Argentina. They call for the kick ahead out wide. Argentina looking to open up a match-winning lead here. They go without. It was a nice cover tackle from Baldwin. Had to be made and was.
Well, Santi Carrera's holding his hamstring. Perhaps could have been the only reason why he didn't end up going underneath the sticks, because he is rapid when he gets going. Great cover tackle, Baldwin making the hit. But again, a little bit lacklustre. First phase worked for them well. But this shift pass, as soon as Nicholas throws that one, it was always going to be intercepted. Cross was going lateral. Carrera gets in between him.
Okay.
Good martial defence, really good cover defence. Difficult there to get yourself in between the ball and the player, but he did well. Feel here we tried to kick on the second gear, wasn't really expecting that hitting behind, and that's where his hamstring perhaps got slightly tweaked. Wales just need to play like they've got advantage for a penalty. That's what I think the best way of describing it. Don't play with such inhibition. Try things, explore.
Yep. 7 white
Almost like
well.
Argentina do.
7 white.
They're not going to die trying, that's for sure.
7 white, some. Over here, boys. Over here. Knock on, Maxi.
This Welsh team really need to grab a hold of this game now. Get together, get focused, get set. There's a lot of people with expectation upon this team. They've got another year to build, as we mentioned. A lot of these are young, but at the moment they're not doing their basics well enough.
Crouch! Down! Bind! Set!
Big shove from Argentina, very nearly forces the error. In fact, it wins them the penalty.
Almost as much passion seen here as we're seeing their anthem. All about the people, the health and glory. Their anthem is almost the same as scrum time. So physical, aren't they, when you see them celebrate like that, how much it means to them. Forlorn-looking Welshmen. Again, with the collision, the ball hooked back nicely. But look how many feet are walking backwards. The Argentinian front five getting on top, turning that screw. And a shot now for goal to give them a very healthy looking lead.
Joaquin de la Vega Mendia, 3 from 5. And looking to make it a 17-point game with 17 to play. Clubs it through. 32-15, and this one looks destined to go the way of Los Pumitas.
17-point gap, double it to 34, and that is the possession that Argentina currently have. So not a lot of ball, but when they've got it, they are carving it.
Light rain starting to fall here in Narbonne as well. That might make things interesting a little later tonight. We've got Australia v Italy coming up off the back of this one, followed by the main semi between England and South Africa. Down the road in Perpignan, it'll be New Zealand taking on France. New Zealand looking to defend their World Rugby Under-20 title. Basham now with Wales. Davis. Reese Davis.
Back, boys.
Skip step from Tane Basham. Trying to break up this Argentinian D. Can't do so. Evans. Evans. Evans again. No look ball to the outside. No way through. Ellis Jones. Morgan. Baldwin. Lake. And again, phase after phase after phase from Wales. And they're heading in the wrong direction. Now some sharp passing from Wales. All over the top from the runner on the inside, Combi. He was unable to connect, but it'll pop up, it'll all be all right. They're still in possession, Wales. Had a better line and some more punch from Basham. Evans. Flat ball offloaded from Ellis Jones and then knocked on. Knock on advantage here for Argentina. Bullet ball there from Paulos, the second rower. And they can have a spin down that left-hand side now. Argentina. 40 away from the line. Chasing the killer blow here against Wales.
Forward pass.
That one called forward. The Argentinian props all having a dabble, up by 17, saying, you know what, we'll have little swing at it with ball in hand, but they are overrun on the outside, and it'll be a Welsh scrum feed.
Yeah, a bit of a shame, stood in front. You could see forward pass to him, but that's probably the biggest factor we've seen in this game, that you've got 1 to 5 for the Argentinian team, happy handling, happy distributing. The reason why they're now on the halfway line, they were released by a 15-metre pass, the right hand from Paulo. So second row, I'm not saying it should be a shock to anyone to see second rows passing, but that type of confidence on your own 22 to throw it, that's the kind of youth team that you want to see coming through. Confident footballers, happy to play, happy to throw it. I've got to say, I've not seen that from the Welsh. Been very static, stagnant. Got all the ball they could hope for, just not able to do anything with it. 67% of the ball they are possessing, but have only had 8 offloads.
Let's go, man, let's go!
Which isn't enough for flowing rugby.
Time back on.
Lane continues to tumble here in Narbonne. We have a grease ball a little later tonight as the sun sets
Crouch!
in this beautiful part of the world, and there's been some beautiful rugby put on display today by the Argentinians.
Straight down.
So frustrations, it's language slightly boiling over there.
Shoulders above
Apologies
hips.
for that, but it's a pretty
Shoulders
heated
above
area.
hips, understand? Shoulders above his hips.
Saying the same
Shoulders
thing.
above his hips.
Keep your shoulders above your hips. It's all very well, but you've got 2 guys who are 120 kilograms pushing your backside, can be quite difficult to do. I imagine, I've never been there. I know you have, Shawnee.
It ain't fun.
Crouch!
I can tell you that, Rob Vickerman. It ain't a whole lot of fun.
Set!
Argentina explode after the engagement, but Wales get the strike on it. Combier. Pinned there by
Must clear release.
Avellaneda.
Must clear release.
Argentina nailed for not releasing.
The discipline, often associated with this Argentinian team, never that great. Always committed, as we mentioned, but sometimes on the wrong side of the law. Just accruing a few now. They've only given away 9 penalties, so not that significant, but 8 of them have been in their own half. Probably not surprising, bearing in mind how much time Wales have spent in their own half, but these cover tackles coming in as soon as the guy's on the floor, got to be clear release. And for the second time now we're seeing it, that clear release isn't there. All too easy for the referees to call.
Late to the middle, was that straight? On it goes. Combier at first receiver, slipped the ball to Morgan. He's monstered in the tackle. Basham has to play scrum half. Davis, Rhys Davis from Bath Rugby. Just grinding their way through it here. Wales, and then knocking on, and Argentina will look to make him pay right off the bat. Oh, that's a big tackle going in on Avellaneda.
He's not gone by red.
Well, a bit of argy-bargy. It was a big shot. Got to be careful about the new directives coming in about dipping. With that turnover, playing flat, you've got to have your hands up, you've got to be ready. You play that close, you're going to get a couple of Argentinians hitting you at the same time as you trying to run through them. And it was an error coming in from Davies. Actually carried really well
5 white.
for the Welsh.
Substitution.
Nearly up to double figures, which is a big effort from a man who's had to push a whole hop in these scrums.
All good.
It's a bit tongue-in-cheek, I guess, but those who can do, those who can't push.
Here's your mark. Time on.
Say again.
Scrums, second rowers, in they go. The boiler room.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Argentina win the penalty.
Red, not pushing straight.
Now really getting into their work at scrum time. Argentina, they came under all sorts of pressure early on in this one. Wales had their measure, but as the game has gone on, Argentina have really stamped their dominance in that facet of the game.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking a lot about these backs, and they are exciting, but Martinez, Sordoni, Raphael, Millet and Hughes, they're all really setting this platform. All you can ask for as backs is to get grade A ball, and they're getting it time and time again. Penalties are at the forward scrums.
Slapped off the top. Good shift at the line to José, but he went without, and Wales can have a crack now and try and force something in this match. Can they jag the next try? Jag just 3 points via the boot of Evans in his second half. It's been tough graft after the tries in the first half for Baldwin and Conbeer. There's a good dummy and go from Thomas. Thomas pops it up off the deck. The next ball is called back. Still with the men in red. Davis out wide, carrying nicely.
Really like the injection Thomas has had.
Advantage.
Argentina sweep in, pick up the loose ball. It's toe to head here. Argentina. Socket ahead, will it check? Carreras. He goes down, the ball goes dead in goal. He's rapid, Mateo Carreras. Just overhit that one on the hunt for his second.
Nearly punishing the error. We've seen a couple in that final third. Wales coughed the ball up. Next thing they know, the breakout is on. Pace all over. We can see good effort, good line. Coming in the well and hit it hard. But if you don't keep hold of it, that's no good. That's as fortuitous, tried to kick it on the right on the bounce. Not many Argentinians don't control the ball well, but just a little bit too much on it from Carreras.
Ball was out, so Argentina sweep in and nab it away from the Welsh.
Red must be in your feet to play the ball.
If you just joined the broadcast, welcome. And we'll remind you, it might be worth jumping onto the internet.
Points.
Grab your phone, grab your tablet, hit up World Rugby on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, and get a look at some of the tries that Argentina have crafted in this match. They have delivered a couple of absolute gems. We've got them all clipped up and ready to rock for you there on the interwebs, Vix.
Oh, they're going to go viral, surely. Some of these tries today, I would not fancy trying to pick a try of the tournament, yet alone try of the day, or try the game. They've been absolute worldies.
De La Vega Medina hits the poles. And down it goes. Down it goes for Evans as he knocked it on, though. It might be a 5-metre scrum, and this just kind of sums up Wales' afternoon.
So frustrating. Errors really now creeping in. Nearly at double figures. Takes the shot, hits the post. Hell of a breeze down there. You could see the wind really pick it up. A little bit lack of attention. It's almost like Wales grinding in a third gear. 10 handling arrows now against 5 for Argentina. Argentina get to third and fourth gear, and their turbo diesel kicks in. They find another level.
Sit!
Looking for the finishing touch. The 5-pointer that'll round this one out. Los Pumitas.
Let's go, use it, please.
Creeping towards the line. To the short side they go. Garcia.
Play on.
Garcia has lost it. Wales have to really roll the dice here. have a crack from all across the park. Down by 17, 7 to go. Thomas over to Evans. Evans dummies to the outside, steers back in field. Semi-line break, isolated though, and Argentina climb in and win the penalty.
Points.
As Evans walks back, he's slightly despondent. The Argentinian defence showing again its strength. Waiting for these tackles. They are some of the finest chop tacklers in World Rugby, hang around knees and ankles. And that means you can get over the ball straight away. There's Gandini there over the top of it. Heavyweight. Bear in mind, many of those penalties have come from scrums.
Back 10,
These
please.
turnovers in midfield make all the difference.
Boys, back 10.
Just stopping any type of momentum the Welsh were trying to get by pinning them back, absorbing with these tackles that have been top draw.
Last crack at the sticks, hit the poles and bounced away, and this one is going to be a carbon copy. And again, Wales can't bring it in. Remarkable.
No advantage, knock on by red first.
What are the odds? Rob Vickerman, if I was to offer you odds around that, 2 shots at goal, hit the same upright twice in a row, and then to be knocked on twice in a row.
That is some number, isn't it? Wow, what, 10,000? 20,000?
Keep going.
50,000?
No, mate, we're looking in the millions.
Wow.
To hit the post takes some doing.
There's quite a breeze down there as well, actually, so even accounting for that. I have to speak to an actuary to find that out.
Set!
The odds are high there. The odds are particularly low here for an Argentina win. They are up by 17. Out the back it goes. Carreras puts it on a plate for his wing partner, Pablo Avellaneda. And Los Pumitas are purring in Narbonne.
They deserve to be purring like a fine car. These guys have been absolutely slamming it. On the go, outside line. As soon as that little half break from Carreras comes through, Avellaneda just has to get the ball and put it down around the outside. Really good finishing. This back three for Argentina have been standout. Every time they've got it, they've looked exciting. They haven't had a huge amount of carries between them, but their meters are topping the charts. Santi Carreras, 69 meters. Avellaneda, 42. Matteo, 89.
This time round, it hits the same left-hand upright and does the right thing by Joaquin de la Vega Mendia. It's through, and Argentina, well, they are well in front now, and that is how they posted their most recent 5-pointer. 2 wingers combining. 39-15.
Advantage, knock on. Knock on, knock on. Scrum red.
Well, the future's very bright for this Argentinian outfit. These young men, certainly in the back three, looking capable of being pressing for many, many years to come. Really are blessed in Argentina, their structure of rugby. They've got some very clear identified path routes. The significant experience they gain from this, they'll take into international rugby, I'm sure, some of them.
We'll see some of them in Super Rugby next year with the Jaguares. And from there, it is from Los Pumitas up to Los Pumas.
There we go.
Argentina have made double the number of tackles that Wales have.
No.
Double, and lead by 24.
Just as well, half as much ball all of these scores, just 34% possession.
Thomas. Inside the closing 90 seconds. Argentina, will they face Australia or Italy in the 5th place final match? That'll be on match day 5 on Sunday.
Play on.
Evans. Over for Harris. Morgan. Crossfield kick from Thomas. For Baldwin, jumps over the top of the Argentinian defender.
Usually check that for me.
Conbeer slips the pass back in field. It's then knocked on and will come back.
PK only.
Penalty only, maybe yellow here.
He's going to be in trouble. As soon as a player takes the air, you've got to be so
Tackle
careful.
13 white.
See a little tuck jump. Baldwin lifting the legs up. And Castro puts himself in a very dangerous position. He's lucky. He shouldn't be on the pitch presently after that. Very much dangerous play. Maybe he's slipping, his head's down, but it doesn't matter. If he's tackled in the air, it's just luck that stops him getting significantly further injured than that.
Thanks, mate.
Okay, full time. The line-out throw is not straight. And
Scrum first.
the closing play will be an Argentinian scrum. They're off to the 5th place final.
Well, you mentioned odds. I probably wouldn't give too long odds, as there's been a significant Argentinian scrum. The moral of this game has been Argentinians forwards have absolutely destroyed the Welsh, and their backs have lit up this World Rugby Under-20 Championship.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Full time. It is, and Joaquin De La Vega Mendia brings the shutters down on this clash. A polished performance in the end from Argentina. Too good for Wales. Full time, 39-15.
15 donc à Argentina 39, Wales 15, Argentina 39.
Argentina, Jay, just the one win in their pool play, but gee, they have bounced back and delivered one of the better performances we've seen from any side here at the World Rugby Under-20 Championship.
Yeah, it's a lovely story to tell, isn't it? They were sensational throughout the whole game there, Shawnee. Start of possession, start of field position, but when they got it, they just let rip. They've got 3 very special back 3 players we saw do their thing. Santi Carreras, Mateo Carreras, and the tries got at the end there, Alavandera. They are special players, but they did so on the back of a very dominant forward pack. Wales will be disappointed with their set piece, with no doubt, and that's probably an underestimation.
All right, let's get some post-game reaction from the winning management. In just a second, we've got Tom May sideline. We're going to round up an Argentinian to have a chat with. Okay, here is Tom May alongside one of the victorious coaches from Argentina.
Fantastic performance by the Argentinians this afternoon. Dominant up front. Some of the most outstanding tries we've seen all tournament. How pleasing were you?
Yeah, it was a very good game. We are very proud for the guys that made a very good game. We know before the game that Wales will be a tough squad to beat, but I think our guys do very well, and we are so happy because we are going forward for the 5th place.
And how important was this afternoon? There's a lot riding on today's fixture, going into that 5th place final. How important was the build-up to this game?
Yeah, it was important after the game against Italy. We lost, and we lost also the opportunity to go to the semi-finals. But we worked hard on the emotion of the guys to try to fight until the end of the tournament to try to reach that fifth position. I think it's important to keep high, to keep the spirit of the guys very high, to keep working all the days, because it's a tough game, it's a tough tournament, so it's a very good prize for the guys to finish at the top.
Well done, and best of luck for match day 5.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
It's the Welsh.
That is the Argentinian side of things all done. Wales, they had their moments in this one, but in the end fell way short of Argentina. Let's get some reaction now from their captain.
Tommy, a disappointing result, a tough game against the Argentinians. You came into this fixture with a huge amount of confidence. How disappointed are you?
Yeah, very disappointed. I think we went a bit off script of what our game plan was, and fair play to Argentina. They took their chances well, and they dominated in the set piece and around the pitch.
And you had a huge amount of possession and dominated that area at times during the game. How frustrating is it that your attacking game didn't quite click?
Yeah, it's very frustrating. I think a couple of errors started to build up, and our mistakes, and we just weren't clinical enough in those areas.
But that said, there were some great scores from you guys, including the crossfield kick down this near touchline. There are some positives for you to build upon. What are you going to look towards improving for this last round?
I think it's just about creating more of those chances. I think we put ourselves in the area that we seem to not capitalise on it, so just being more clinical around the pitch.
Tommy, tough afternoon. Best of luck for match day 5.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Cheers, Tom.
One game down, 2 to run here in Narbonne. This is match day 4 of the World Rugby Under-20 Championship, and it is Argentina, the side who are progressing from this first 5th place semi-final.
Au stade de Jean-Coin, le HSBC Paris Sevens 2018, dernière étape du circuit mondial de rugby à 7. Nouveauté 2018, un tournoi mixte qui vous a permis d'encourager vos 2 équipes de France féminines. En novembre aura lieu la traditionnelle tournée d'automne. Ce sera l'occasion de retrouver le 15 de France.
advantage. Clear release, White, please. Back here. White, clear release.